Hey everybody, welcome back to Majestic Collectibles. Comic book finds. This is June 2023. Although by the time you see all the videos, it's going to probably be middle of July. I just picked these up last Thursday up in Northwest Iowa, about four and a half short boxes. Silver Bronze Age collection. Pretty cool though. If you guys get a chance, click like, click subscribe, check out our other videos. I'm starting here. These I got bagged and boarded. I don't have the whole collection bagged and boarded, but this and one more box I did do, and you'll see why in a minute. Most of these were 2 per bag, and they're in the old style bags. The second video, the video after this of the collection, I'll go into that a lot more, so we'll get to the comics right now. But it's a nice little run of Silver and Bronze Age Spider-Man books. Do have some condition issues. They all do. They have, there's water damage on a lot of them, and just, I don't know if you can see that. A lot of stress on that one. Just a low grade reader copy. They are complete, so I did check that. And I just thought, you know, this is probably one of the larger Silver Age Spider-Man runs I have bought in the last, probably 15 years now. They usually come in like a handful or a dozen here or a couple dozen there. So this was nice to get them in one batch. If you guys are up in Paulina, Iowa, Northwest Iowa, stop by and see Steve at the Old Market Antiques right on Main Street. He's the one that gave me a call on this, and you can see that's a key book, not a high grade book, but very nice. Huge sub crease on this one. Of course, it's a black cover, so that makes everything 10 times worse. You got some fan creases in there. They do start getting better though here. We get about 20 more issues, maybe 25 more issues. You'll start seeing some better conditioned books, so that's really nice. And just some classic covers. Got some Ditko on the early ones, and that goes to Romita Sr., who just, passed away, what, a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. Junior, I believe, is still around, still kicking. I don't know if he's drawn anything. I don't think he is. But as you can see, you know, it's not a complete run, so I don't have every single issue. Don't have a lot of key books. That's the first Mary Jane cover, but not anywhere close to her first appearance. Let me see, get that in the right order. There we go. Here's where they kind of start getting better. This number is 60, especially for a black cover. Really clean. It's got some water damage though right there in the spine. Still, it presents really, really well. Here's another, I don't know if it's a classic cover, but it's one of the ones I liked, with Medusa on the front. There's another with a vulture. A lot of black covers on Spider books, if you haven't noticed. And then there's a white cover, so it kind of goes back and forth. Either way, it's hard to get them in super high grade because they show everything. That one had a store sticker on it. That's a duplicate. I didn't get a lot of duplicates. Always like that cover with Mysterio. I don't think they count it as a classic cover, but I always liked it. And we'll just go through another white cover, and then next month, black cover. So it just kind of, see, they went back and forth a little bit on it. And we'll get through these fairly quick. If there's anything you want to see or know about, you know, like a closer look or something, you know, just let me know in the comments, get a hold of me. I can let you know. The problem is when you put these in sleeves like this, they tend to look a lot higher grade than what they are. And so before you get too excited, they're not. See, there's a Romita, there's John Sr.'s signature on there. It's not a high grade collection. I always like that cover because at first glance you think, oh, that's Aunt May drinking some poison or something. Yeah, it's not. You gotta read it. And just some really classic classic covers. They have that classic 60s, you know, Silver Age, early Bronze Age feel and look to them. Prowler, if you've been watching the new Miles Morales Into the Spider-Verse, has had a major role in the first one. Showed up in the second one too, for that matter. Chameleon. These are nicer books. These are probably approaching fine, but I have to go through them. I begged and boarded them. I have not actually graded any of these, mainly because mainly because I just haven't had time, and I don't want to get too excited because there's water damage. In fact, I'm going to go back here. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about something. I'm going to pull the Spidey 50 here. I want you to take a look at this. Resealable bag. I know some people love them, some hate them. They're just convenient for me, so I do use them. I really haven't had many problems with them, at least not any more problems with those than taping the flap. If you're buying a key book, and I think a lot of people count this as a key, and it's low grade, you can see it's got a lot of wear, creases, wrinkles. Make sure you're getting what you pay for. Cover's attached, but it's pulling loose, not a big problem. The centerfold, this is interesting. The centerfold is still attached, but somebody added reinforcement Scotch tape to the staples. In fact, there's a little, I guess that one's well attached. Not terribly unusual. I've had whole collections where they put just Scotch tape down the spine to keep it from splitting, but it turns that really tan, gray, gunky stuff. And if you're going to spend big dollars, even on a lower grade key, make sure it doesn't have something like that in it, or at least you know about it. Because what happens is the glue seeps into the paper. You have to take it and get restored to even get a chance of cleaning that. It usually doesn't come out. And then this turns brittle. This paper ages faster than that. You can see the color difference. And that means eventually that's going to rot out right there in the centerfold where it's brown. That's gonna just disintegrate, and then the centerfold is going to pop out. And there's not really much you can do about it. So always check, always ask, even on a lower grade book, maybe even especially on a lower grade book, and see what's going on with it. But it's just something to keep an eye on. Something else is to make sure the coupons are all in there. If it's a Marvel Stamp era book, make sure the Marvel Stamp hasn't been clipped. Hulk 181s are kind of notorious for having those things missing. And these are nicer. If they're not water damaged, I think, you know, they're going to be VG plus fine. I don't think I've got any VF because you probably can't see it. There's some foxing, which is another sign of moisture. It sat around where it was probably damp. But I don't know, and I'll show you why in the next video. It's kind of a little bit of a confusing collection on how it was stored. I'm guessing it was maybe in a couple different locations, but I don't know. And there's one with Gwen and Iceman, so a nice little crossover book. Another Prowler. He was a major character, you know, in the late 60s there. Kind of fizzled off. He got replaced by a few others. I think mainly Doc Ock, you know, became big in the 70s. And the usual suspects were in there too, you know, Green Goblin and so on and so forth. So the Prowler kind of took, oh, there's a Green Goblin, kind of took maybe a little bit of a back seat to it. Coming into this right around the 100, the century mark here, I don't know why, but these have been some of my favorite covers. This was actually before I was really old enough to buy them. So I didn't really see these on the newsstands. I just love that Spidey 100. Black cover, again, hard to find in a higher grade. That one's pretty clean. Another key book, that's the first Morbius, another fantastic cover. You got the six-armed Spider-Man on it. Again, there's a little bit of foxing there, so I'm going to have to take a close look, make sure nothing's water damaged. Six-armed Spidey with the Lizard, Vampire at Large, Kazar crossover on that one. Craven, which he was an older character. I don't know, he's always one of my favorite Spidey villains, and I love that cover on it. So I don't know, this was just kind of a fun era, I thought. Just really, again, just very classic look with the logo. Doctor Strange crossover there. I think that might have gone into Marvel Team Up. I'm not sure on that crossover. Sometimes they did that and then they'd go to a different book. Another Craven. I love that cover. A lot of tension in the cities, had riots, a lot of social unrest. Hammerhead was another one that, I don't know, for a little while in the 70s anyway, he was fairly well used. Kangaroo, not so much. Smasher, not so much. Smasher, Disruptor, and yeah, you know, not what I would call classic villains. Another great crossover right there. I love that Hulk cover. And there's another one. Just really, really good covers. This is kind of the era where I was buying comics as a kid. Just love that portrait cover. This is really super rough. I don't know if you can see it. The cover's detached, wrinkles, soiling. Great cover though on it. Very low grade. Luke Cage, Hero for Hire crossover. Man-Wolf. I don't know why, he's always one of my favorite characters. Of course, I like the sci-fi horror stuff, so that's probably why. So a lot of fun there. Here we go with Kangaroo, and you're probably thinking, oh, 129's in here, so let's find out. Another great, just love that cover. There's 128. Again, I think that's a great cover. Goes to 130, so no First Punisher, which is a pretty big dollar book, one of the biggest books in the group, if not the biggest, from the Bronze Age Spidey, and it is not here. Suspect it was here because I got a lot of other ones in consecutive order that aren't missing, so I don't know if it was ever held back or they never had it. I don't know. There's one with Punisher in the bottom. It's another cover that I really, really liked. Thought it was really fantastic. And we're getting towards the end of the Spider-Man stack here. Another Green Goblin. I got to be careful my stack's not falling over. Another Green Goblin. Mindworm. Yeah, it was not the best attempt. Grizzly, well, okay, yeah. Did like that one. Cyclone. Nope, didn't care for him either. And I got two for some reason. I'll have to look at why. I really always liked that cover, kind of a mystery cover. You know, is Gwen back or not? Scorpion. Tarantula again, who showed up. He showed up quite a bit, I think, in Spectacular Spider-Man when that series started. So I think it was maybe moved out of the Spidey book. And there it goes. My stack kind of flopped over, but have no fear, it's right here on the table, so it didn't hit the ground or anything. And there's the Jackal, which is a key book because he's the one. If you did the oh shoot, it just the name of the story just flew out. It was the Clone Saga for Spider-Man. Ben Reilly in that. So so there's the Jackal cover. 150th issue, kind of okay. This cover is great. I really like that one. Shocker, another character villain that I always liked. And we're coming up. Sandman, 155 here. We're getting towards the end. And there's a Doc Ock, goes to Hammerhead. Kind of like that cover too. Another Hammerhead, and then the last one, so 159, then I got 238. So I don't know if there's more in between or this is just an odd outlier. This is all the Spider-Man in the collection, unless, you know, there's more to the collection I haven't seen. I don't know. No tattoo in this one. I think this might be might have a Mark's Jewelers insert. One of the issues that may have had Mark's Jewelers insert, but this one doesn't have that either, and it's pretty rough too. Honestly, without the tattoo and everything, it's not really a very valuable or sought after book. It does have Hobgoblin on it though, so that's kind of a cool cover. So that's it for part one, the all Spidey box. So I'm going to do, well, I'll give you a little foreshadowing here. We got some DC coming up, mainly Superman, and then I have another box of Marvel coming up, and that will be, well, you just have to see. It's Silver Age. I know there's some X-Men, Avengers, Captain America. Not as many as the Spidey. This was by far the most complete run and the best box. But you want to check those out, I think. So thanks for watching.